In this video, we are going to look into forms. We use forms every single day when we are on web. Like when we are searching a web page in Google, we are using a form element. When we are trying to log in Facebook or Twitter or anything similar to it, we are using forms element. Like when we are clicking on like, subscribe or commenting on YouTube channel, that is also a kind of form. I have already created a form to give a brief introduction. Let's check it out. First name, label. So this name, email, password, male, female, I have a bike, I have a car, age, message. All these things are label. This is an input box. Like when we are searching something on Google, as I said, when we are searching a web page, that is also a form. So that is an input box. We are typing something inside it. Like here, when we are typing a full name, email or password, all these three are input box. Let's type a full name. So this character is coming because of a reason. Let me show you that. In input box, we are using type after input. This is an attribute. So we are using type attribute where we can give various options. So here when I am giving text, we are writing our name. When I am giving email, we are writing email. And when we are writing password, it gives that special character, because we are informing the browser that we are using it as a password. We have a button. So this save, this is a button. So when we are clicking on it, it is refreshing, it is reloading. See here. This is because this is also a kind of input element, and we are using type as submit. So whenever we use submit, it submits the data and it refreshes the form. This is a radio button. Whenever you come across this circle thing, understand that this is a radio button. Similarly, when we have this square thing, we have checkbox. So there is one more difference in radio button and checkbox. In radio button, we can select only one option out of whatever number it's given, but in checkbox we can click on multiple options. That also we'll see in our form. This is the text area. Unlike input box, here we can write multiple words until and unless we don't give any command of limiting the word. But input box and text area has a similarity of typing words within the box. Input box is a self-closing tag. It does not have a closing tag. Like here we can see in label we have an opening tag, one closing tag. But in input we have this opening tag. We don't have closing tag. Whatever we are writing as attribute, it's given in the opening tag. The for attribute of the label tag should be equal to the ID attribute of the input element to bind them together. This also I have given as an example. So here in password, we are using this for attribute as password, and same value we are giving here as an ID. See, when we are clicking on email, we don't see any action on the form. But when we are clicking on password, we can see the cursor focusing on this text box, because it knows that this password is associated with this text box. So it is binding them together. I have given one example here as well. Label for fn, first name label is closing. As we saw that in the form we are just giving opening tag and closing tag. This is the attribute that we are mentioning. So in the input box we are using ID and we are giving the same name. We can also use name equals to and we can give the same name. Radio buttons let users select one of the limited number of choices. As I said, we can select only one option out of whatever number of options are given. Input type submit defines a button for submitting the form data. So let's see the entire form by filling it up. See, here we can click only one. We are not able to click on the other one as well. But in checkbox we can check both, and when we are clicking again on it, it is unchecking it. This is the drop down. We can select any of the value and it is used with the select tag. This is the text area as I have already explained. This is my message. Now we will submit it or save it. Since I have used input type submit, the entire data will get submitted and the form will get refreshed. Here we are not using any kind of programming language, so definitely it is not getting submitted. For submitting we need to use post method, which definitely we will learn in our later courses. See, the entire form got refreshed. Now let's make this exact form. So I am not deleting this entire form here. We will make a replica of it. I have used h1 tag to write the heading as forms. See here. So again I am not mentioning this. We will start from this part. This part. In the beginning we have to mention a form tag. Within form tag we have to write field set. Within field set, so give this thing to make it look beautiful and to make it compact, make the entire element place within this box. We will write legend tag. Let's write data as the title. See, we are getting this data here and we are getting a box with a border because we have mentioned field set and legend. Legend is this, field set is this border. After legend but within field text we will write input box. Input type is the attribute where we are writing text. See, you can see the options here. We can select anything from here: date, date, time, email, file, image, month, URL, week, anything. Let's select color and let's close the text. Let's check how does it look like. See, this is the color. We can select any color. We have many more options in HTML5 which we will learn later in this course only. Let's change it to text. Before input I forgot to mention label tag. Let's write label tag and let's write first full name here. We'll mention BR tag which will create a break here. See, we can even use like this with break, or else if we don't want to write break we can give that as well. So if we are not using break, it will look like this. Let's use break here and let's write label email input type. This time we will give email as type because we are informing the browser that this is a type. The input should be a type of email. So we have many more attributes which we will use later, which will restrict the user from typing anything else apart from email. See, we have created email. This thing I forgot to mention this. You can see full name in a grayish color, email, password, these things, and when we are typing it is getting vanished. So this is a placeholder. We can also write this as an attribute like this: placeholder equals to email. See, now we can see email here. Okay, now let's use BR tag and proceed further. Password input type equals to password. So now this will give the special character. Let's give double BR because we are moving into other element. We are creating radio button. Input type radio. Let's give a break here as well. Now let's see. So it's not working. This is because we have not given the name attribute. So here name will be gender and same attribute, same name we will mention here. See, now it's working. Let's give a double break here again. Now we will create a checkbox. So for that, let me write vehicles input type checkbox. I have a car. I have a two-wheeler. See, it's working. Again, let's give double break. Always make it look very systematic, organized, beautiful, like I have done here. I have grouped the entire input element like this. I mean input box. So this label and this input box is associated with each other, so I have not given any space here, but after this I gave a space. Then I made an email input box. So again this is associated with each other, so I have not given any space, but these are not associated with each other, so I gave a space in between. Same with this password, and then I gave double break to make a radio element. So for the radio element I made a group here, it looks like a group if we are not giving a space. See, we can see that it is a group. If you want to make it more organized, you can even write in a comment, this is a radio button. I have commented here. This is what I was trying to mention in my earlier video when I was talking about comment. So here I have commented radio button, so person can understand that this is radio button and this is a checkbox. But this will never be shown in a browser because it's a comment. But the person, the user, the coder can understand this. Okay, so you got my point now. After checkbox, let's make a drop down. This I did not explain you, so now I will explain you. For drop down, we always have to make a select tag. Within select, we have to give options because we are giving option to the person. We are giving a drop down. These are the options. The person can either choose 0 to 20 or 20 to 40 or anything. See, we have created the option, but I forgot to mention the label. So let's give the label. For label, we have to give before the select element. So we have created drop down now. Now we are going to create a text area. For text area, we simply have to write text area as the element. So now we have created the text area, but we have few options as an attribute in text area. We can change the size, we can even drag it. This is not the permanent solution, but because if we will refresh it again, it will be in the small size. So here we can mention the call equals to 30, rows equals to 5. Let's see. See, it changed the size. So we can even write something by default. Will be written here. It's like depends on the type of work you are doing. You can even give a placeholder here as well. Placeholder can be given only in the input box and text area. So this is the placeholder. See, you can see the cursor is blinking in the beginning of the text area. This is because this is just the placeholder, and when I had written it as the value, the cursor was blinking at the end of the text area. Let's check that again. See, the cursor is blinking at the end of the text area because this is the value, this is not the placeholder. If we type something, it will start after the text area. See. So now we are going to create the submit button. For submit button, again we have to write input type equals to submit, value equals to, value is something which will be shown on as a name on the button. Since we have used type as submit, as we are clicking on it, it is refreshing. So we are done with the form. I hope you understood the elements of the form. But there's one more thing here. So in HTML we are writing as input type submit for creating a button, but in HTML5 we have something else. So that we will learn in the later video. That's all for this video. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.